What's going on, everybody? It's Dylan from The Bottom Line View, and I am finally back to review an NXT episode. It's the first NXT review of 2017, so of course, if you guys enjoy it, spike the like button. I've been missing doing that on NXT review. I have to explain myself for the last 3 weeks. 3 weeks ago, it was actually for something important. I was on vacation in Minnesota for Christmas. I know it's already been 3 weeks. Holy crap! But yeah, I actually had to be out for that, so. That was kind of important. And then the last 2 weeks have been basically house shows. There were but one in Osaka and one in Melbourne, Australia. And for me, why should I review house shows? There were some good matches on there. I do especially want you guys to check out DIY versus Akira Tozawa and Tajiri. I thought that was a really good match. But for me, I'm not going to watch a house show. I'm not going to review that. It has no storyline importance. So the 3 weeks ago, actual reason, 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks, I haven't been able, it just didn't happen. But I am back tonight. They finally did their first show of 2017 and their first storyline show in 3 weeks. So let's go ahead and get into this. It's January. I put 10th. It's 11th today. Yeah, I don't know why I had that on my notes, but that's how it works. So yeah, let's get into it. So we see Asuka first off in the parking lot, and she's walking in there, and she's getting ready to get in the building. This is apparently moments ago, and all of a sudden, she just gets attacked by Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Great! This is how you build a storyline. It's not complicated to build a storyline, but with this women's division and the lack of depth that this talent has, it really is kind of hard to make a storyline. But here, it's not difficult. The two heels that have been feuding with the rest of the women's roster and trying to bully people are now going to try to bully Asuka into winning the NXT Women's Championship. So they beat the crap out of her. Great start. And it's going to be an overlooking overlooking, I'm going to guess, storyline throughout the rest of the night. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce do have a match. It's right after this, and they're taking on Macy Evans and Sarah Bridges. Again, in NXT, if you're just starting to try the product in 2017, you'll notice that this is still a development brand. They're going to have great matches at TakeOver, and there was one great match tonight, but a lot of this time you're going to see a lot of development matches. So this is one of them. Basically, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce squashed the two women jamokes. Do I call them jamocks? We'll just call them jamokes. They basically squash them. They hit that knee slam. I hate that move. It's Peyton Royce throwing her opponent into Billie Kay's knee for the win. I'm like, I don't really care. After the win, I gotta put these notes somewhere closer to me because this is ridiculous. I can't see. So after the win, Royce is like, "Oh, are we enough competition for you, Asuka?" She's basically calling her out, and they say they're the most dominant in NXT. And all of a sudden, Asuka runs down from the ramp, and her makeup is running down her face, she's like, I guess, crying from the incident. And they did splash water in her face, I guess, but they basically attacked her so hard, and she's very injured. She's running down there to beat them up, basically, and she gets stomped on and basically killed. And then all of a sudden, Nikki Cross comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, well, this is interesting. We've seen a couple weeks back, Nikki Cross looked up for the NXT Women's Championship, was kind of staring at it like that's my next goal. And she basically runs off Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, and then hits a double drop kick off the top rope to Asuka, and I was like, awesome, she's a heel, but she got off the other heels and then attacked the babyface, so she gets her heat. So I was like, fatal 4-way coming. We'll see. Good little segment here. I was very interested. The match I don't really care about, but it's really about the feud here, and I thought this was a pretty good start to this. What I'm going to guess is a fatal 4-way. Backstage, Nikki Cross. It's after commercial break. She's backstage with Sanity, and she says she's going to takes the key word. And Eric Young's in the background because, of course, Sanity's there. And he's like, you know what? This is what we said when we came here. We're going to take. And Nikki Cross is going to take that title. And then they walk away, and Big Damo is back there just, lurking around them. And I was like, two overlurk. It's, not difficult. There's different storylines combined into one, in one segment. I thought that was a little nice hint there. So good stuff there. Nikki Cross NXT Women's Champion. We'll see. Elias Samson, my brother, is back. Again, they're just trying to push this guy. I hope they're pushing this guy. I hope they give him good squash matches. Again, he defeated Jonathan Cruz. Nothing really special. I do like Elias Samson. He's one of my boys here in NXT, and I hope he does get some success because he's quite talented. I know a lot of people, some people don't like him, but give this man a chance. He has real heel heat, which is a good thing. We get a recap of DIY versus Revival 1 at Brooklyn TakeOver. To basically, because we're going to get the rematch number 3 of these guys later tonight, so they got to recap the other 2 matches. Next, we get Andrade, Cien, Almas versus Oney Lorcan. This one I missed because it was 2 weeks ago, and Oney Lorcan defeated Andrade and Cien, Almas in the Osaka tour. I kind of like Oney Lorcan. I kind of like his style. If he's going to be like somebody that gets something here in NXT, he needs to build a character, but he is a very hard-hitting guy, and I like that. So they're giving him a chance, and of course he got the victory there. So he didn't pick up the victory tonight. Andrade, they really hit a really hard match. Like these guys were hitting each other very hard. The knees by Oney Lorcan are fantastic. I quite enjoyed that. Maybe we're going to get a third match because the ref gives Andrade some space to breathe, let him breathe for a little bit, and Oney's like wanting to attack him. When Andrade sees the moment, he kicks the knee under Oney Lorcan, hits that DDT where he holds the guy's opponent's arm and hits the DDT for more effect and gets the win and gets his revenge, quote unquote. Maybe Oney Lorcan will get another match for that because the referee had some part in the finish, but good stuff. I enjoy this heel character of Andrade, although he can't speak English based on his promo, because he gets a promo afterwards and they're asking him what to expect from him in 2017, and he speaks a bunch of Spanish gibberish, but thank God my boy Corey Graves told us. I'm guessing this is what he said, but I have no idea if Almas actually said this. He said that Roderick is next on his list. Orkin was 1, Roderick Strong is next. I hope that's what he said. That just sounds weird for me, but hey, I'm all for it. Roderick Strong, Cedric Almas, 2 guys that really need some depth in their characters. Because look, I like to heel Almas, but like, what is his character? I have no idea. And Roderick Strong, I think, is being positioned in a very bland place right now. They need to fix that up quickly. It's sad that Austin Aries got hurt because he's just been drifting nowhere. I know we had the drifter earlier on with Elias Samson, but we'll see how it goes. If we get a match between those 2, great. We'll see how that goes. We get a recap of DIY versus Revival 2 at TakeOver Toronto, one of the best matches of last year. It's between that for me and Shinsuke and Sammy. Yeah, I thought that was quite good. This is my favorite part of the night in terms of storyline-wise, because we do get something later on in the night that's technically better, but this was great. So Tom Phillips, he's with Shinsuke Nakamura. They're going to have a sit-down interview here, and they're backstage, and the first question's asked is like, oh, how do you feel after Osaka, after Melbourne, all those hard-hitting matches with Samoa Joe? How does it feel afterwards? And Nakamura spoke pretty nice, today. He wasn't exactly English 100%. That wasn't English 100%. He wasn't speaking like all the way what you want, but you could actually understand him, so that's good. Nakamura said he's proud. He's still champion. He fought really hard, and he won the battle. And then he's asked about Bobby Roode, and he says he likes Bobby. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world. But he's not strong enough, or he's not a king. He won't take that, king of strong style. Huh? He won't take that away from him. He just won't become champion. And Tom Phillips goes, I asked Roode for some words today on this match, and he refused to comment, but he did give me this. And he pulls it out from his shirt pocket and gives it to Shinsuke Nakamura, and it's an NXT TakeOver Dallas ticket. And I was like, this is great, because if you guys remember, Bobby Roode was first seen on NXT television, didn't appear in Wrestle in NXT, but first appeared at the NXT TakeOver Dallas show. They saw him. They showed a little peek of him because they were about to sign him, so they saw that. And Shinsuke Nakamura's debut was at TakeOver Dallas. So Shinsuke's like, Bobby Roode kept this all this time? And it's basically like, oh, I've been scouting you since then. I've been watching you, and I'm prepared for the battle. So I thought that was great. Like, that was just a little subtle hint, but like, that was awesome. It also helps from the fact that I was actually at that show, but I thought that was great. Next up, in our final segment of the night, well, this isn't our final segment, but it's our final match. DIY versus the Revival 3 for the NXT Tag Team Championships. If you have seen the last two matches, you know they're absolutely fantastic, and this one was a pretty damn good one. I can't really grade it on terms of the scales of the other two, because A, they got more time to shine, and B, it was kind of a predictable finish. But it was still a really, really good match. Like, I really enjoyed this. This will be one of the better 1 hour NXT matches. And what I mean by that is, like, you know how you have the 1 hour NXT shows and then you have the takeovers. This will probably be the best one on a regular Wednesday episode of 2017. I thought this was quite good. Of course, the smarts, the game advantage from the Revival, they always tried to use that in their advantage to win these kind of matches here. And they weren't able to. But there were some huge moments, like the knees from Ciampa, oh my goodness, were they great. I just like at the beginning, of course, they tried to attack Johnny Gargano's knee because that's been a big focus of the first two, so let's do it again. I like that. They brought up that he's had multiple knee injuries throughout his career, so I thought that was quite good. These guys go back and forth. At one point, it was a fantastic move. Gargano went and hit a suicide dive to, I believe it was Dash, and then Ciampa, and by the way, he hit the barricade or the little guardrail, and then Ciampa hit a knee to Dawson, and he just ran into the time bell, and I was like, oh, the bell stand. I was like, oh god, they're just gonna risk themselves to get this match, and I love that. We have a nice combination towards the end where there's a distraction. Dawson hits a DDT. I think it's gonna be 3, but it's only 2. Gargano gets the advantage. He stops, knocks off Dawson from the top rope. They're both in the middle of the ring, Dash and Dawson. They're in the ring. They're holding each other for dear lives. And Gargano and Ciampa hit the double team tag team finisher, the knee and kick combo to both of them, double pin, and DIY retained the NXT Tag Team Championships. I thought this was a really, really good match. Of course, you're going to see that flow, that these guys have really, really good chemistry. Like, they just know how to work and make the moves and make the next sequence really, really crisp, and I really enjoy that. So this is a really, really good match, and I was heavily invested all the way through. I was like, well, I know who's probably going to win, but just seeing these guys, again, go in the ring and perform like it was nobody's business, it was awesome to see again. Not quite as good as the first two, but still a really good match. I would recommend you guys check out. Afterwards, Paul Ellering, the music hits for AOP, Author's Pain, and Paul Ellering comes out to the entrance ramp without Author's Pain. We're like, where's he at? And Akam and Razor attack DIY from behind. I don't really like that the big guys are attacking the small guys from behind, but whatever. I guess they need the advantage. Especially after a match. I don't know. I just thought that was really confusing. But they basically attack them from behind. They do the double power bomb spot into each other, and then they power bomb them both 2 times to end the show. So Authors of Pain, you know, they really want their aggression because, of course, they won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. They want to make their namesake. After this, we go to Regal backstage, and he makes like 3 different announcements. There was a word like, oh, what do you think about what just happened in the ring? And he's like, you know what? DIY has so much momentum, but Authors of Pain really want to stop it. So we're going to make this match official. At NXT TakeOver San Antonio, the night before the Royal Rumble, we're going to have Authors of Pain take on DIY for the NXT Tag Team Championships. This wasn't really a surprising move because they were already guaranteed a match right after the Revival, and I think it was already announced at San Antonio, but I don't know. Whatever. I thought that was good. He said, while we're also on the topic of making some big-time announcements, I'm going to make a contract signing for the NXT title next week between Bobby Roode and Shinsuke Nakamura. So good. We get a little bit of communication between those two. I'm expecting a really good promo from Roode and some good stuff from Nakamura. And then Asuka runs in. She's bawling still. I don't know why she didn't clean up the face paint. I don't know. Anyways, she runs into his office and says she wants a title match. Make the match official at TakeOver. And he's like, against who? And she's like, all of them. So she wants a match against Peyton, Royce, Billie Kay, and Nikki Cross. So that's going to be an interesting match. They're talking about how she's like, well, she's been wanting more competition, but 3 women that really want to target her, I don't think that's a good idea. Weirdly enough, she's the only face in that match. Interesting. I guess they're going to, for me, I'm guessing they're saving the Ember Moon match for TakeOver Orlando. So I'll be at that one, by the way, with the boys. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of NXT. As a rating, there was some pretty good stuff on this show. Let me go through it. I really did like the Asuka stuff. I don't like Asuka herself, but she did a good job tonight, and I like these segments she was involved with. Elias Samson is the GOAT. Andrade, we'll see how that goes. The Tom Phillips Nakamura segment was fantastic. DIY versus Revival was really, really good. And the last segment to announce was pretty decent. You know, gets all the announcements out of the way. So I'm going to give this one a 7.5 out of 10. Good to see NXT back on the back on the train this week. Need to get back on the road to NXT TakeOver San Antonio and get that one going. So I appreciated them to get back on the right track after these house shows, get some good storylines, and with a couple weeks to go, I am very interested in that show. So thank you guys for watching this NXT review. If you guys enjoyed, spite the like button. Tomorrow I'm coming out with another episode of Idiots of the IWC. There's just a lot of dumb people in the wrestling community, let's be honest. We all know them. And I just decided I'm going to make another video because there's some people that just don't learn their lesson. And some people that make new mistakes with this Kenny Omega Okada match. So I'm going to talk about that tomorrow in detail. Go ahead and check that out. Of course, we got a bunch of NFL content, guys. Divisional picks tomorrow. We got a lot of stuff that's on the way from the Bottom Line View. To new subscribers, we appreciate you guys so much. The fan base has gone up a lot here in the last couple of weeks, so we appreciate every single like, comment, and you guys have given us here in the last couple of weeks. We appreciate that. And stay tuned for more content because we are just starting off 2017, and we're going to hit it with more bangers every single day. It's Dylan from the Bottom Line View. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.